Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Shengyi Jin. Today, I'm here to show you my research on ESG metrics for large language models. Here's the overview. So, what is ESG? ESG stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance, a framework used to evaluate the sustainability and ethical impact of an investment in a business or company. When applied to the large language model like GPT, ESG principles help to assess how these technologies manage their environmental impact, social responsibility, and governance processes. My research will focus on the environmental dimension of ESG. When ESG is applied to large language model training, the environmental aspect to be faced is the substantial computational resource consumption, accompanied by energy consumption. And the large amount of energy consumption will lead to a significant increase in carbon emissions. I will analyze the training energy consumption of large language models with the current top training scores and compare each model with the training results in terms of environmental. My data set is derived from GLUE benchmark, a benchmarking toolset for evaluating and comparing the performance of natural language understanding systems, providing a range of data sets and evaluation criteria for testing the capabilities of machine learning models on a variety of language understanding tasks. I select 25 models based on the ranking of the leaderboard of training large language models on GLUE. By reading their research reports and training codes, I collected the pre-training time, pre-training data sites, pre-training model size, pre-training parameters, and the hardware configuration used to pre-train the models. I also recorded the performance of these models on the GLUE test site, and I selected the 7 most important measures on GLUE as the basis for evaluation, which can cover the comprehensive capabilities of the models, and these measures were also derived from the task of GLUE benchmark. This is a partial presentation of the data I have recorded. It includes the developer, the name of the model, the evaluation data site, and the scores for each measure. This is followed by the model training hardware, model pre-training time, pre-training data sites, batch size, number of training steps, and various model parameters recorded from the corresponding model study. Since not all studies of the models included the corresponding pre-training time, I used the various types of data collected for modeling training to loosely predict the unknown data. For example, in the earlier model study, where no training time is recorded, I would select models trained on the same hardware with non-training data and compare them with their various recorded data to make some simple predictions. Similarly, there are some models whose studies do not mention some of the parameters, but can make reasonable assumptions based on their baseline models. Since the difference in computing efficiency between different hardware is not well measured, I categorize the models by hardware and trained the regression on the models with missing pre-training time using the following models: linear regression, decision tree, random forest, XGBoost, like GBM, and a neural network. I correspondingly adjusted the training parameters and the size of the advanced machine learning models due to the small amount of training data. Nevertheless, their training results were not as good as the simple models. I cross-checked each training model to get the corresponding mean square error of prediction. Here is the cross-validation result. from the test results, the prediction errors are all very large. I use the linear model prediction for the GPU models and the decision tree prediction for the TPU models. Next, I performed energy calculations on the complete data. For different models of hardware, I predict model pre-training energy consumption for GPUs and TPUs at 80% and 87% usage efficiency, respectively, based on their official maximum power consumption data. At the same time, I averaged the scores of each large language model on the glue test as a measure of its overall ability. I explore each according to the difference in the training data set. This is the efficiency frontier curve for the development data set. Regarding energy consumption and model composite scores. From the graph, we can see that XY length base and XY length extra large make up the efficient frontier curve. This means that among these models, these two models are the most effective in terms of having excellent integration capabilities along with low energy consumption. In contrast, models like Model ANNA, which have the highest energy consumption, are not as good overall as some of the lower energy models. Replacement of such models can be considered in practical applications to achieve low energy consumption without affecting the training results. This graph shows the efficient frontier curve for the pre-training time and model scores. Considering only the model training efficiency without considering the energy consumption, I found that among these models, XY length base, Robota large, and XY length extra large perform the best. They can utilize lower training time and show better training results. I then did a linear regression analysis of energy consumption and the composite score and got this linear regression line. This training straight line shows that as energy consumption increases, the training results that the model can show get better and better. To a certain extent, this can indicate that in pursuing models with higher traits, one is bound to face higher energy consumption. These models shows a linear regression line between.
Hold on, are there 9 data points?
Yes.
You're doing.
It's only 9 data points.
Okay. You're doing linear regression with 9 data points.
Well, yes, the data size is too small. I know.
Asking why need to use floating point operations? It's not the standard to measure the energy consumption for language or models in general. Instead of building its own thing.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I can.
The question is, why you did not use floating point operations? And because that's the standard being used for measuring the energy consumption of models for training and also for inference. And there's data sets already with a lot of information about it that can help you build this better than rather use 9 data points.
Okay, you mean use the
yeah, floating points operations.
flops.
Flops, yes. That's even included in the regulation of the EU for models.
Okay, I will learn this.
Yeah, you can incorporate it definitely. You can benchmark it against your methodology.
Okay. Well, thank you. And so I just go ahead. Well, since quite unacceptedly, this line show a negative slope, meaning that there is an inverse relationship between pre-training time and the model performance. Of course, this could be caused by the dataset characteristics or a smaller amount of data, which after all kind of goes against the usual perception. Well, this next 3D image shows the relationship between model energy consumption, pre-training time, and the composite score in 3 dimensions. In this image, the models closer to the top left corner show better capability. The model shows the ability. It can be seen that the model closest to the top left corner is XY extra large. I'm then going to show the results of the training study on the test site. This graph shows the efficiency frontal curve between energy consumption and the model score. It can be seen that more models make up this curve than development sets. These include Electra Small, Electra Base, MTDNN, MTDNN Knowledge Distillation, Structure Bird Large, Raptor Large, and the T511B. However, the front end of this curve is close to vertical, which means that higher capacity increases can be achieved by ending only a smaller energy consumption. This is an efficient frontal curve of pre-training time and model score. The only models on this curve are Raptor Large and the T511B. The rest of the models are far from this curve. This indicates that these two models are trained efficiently and can be relied upon to achieve a high level of integrated capability in shorter period of time. Similarly, I performed a linear regression analysis of the model's energy consumption and the composite score to obtain the linear regression line shown on the graph. As with the development side, this straight line illustrates that the better the model, the higher the amount of energy it needs to consume. What's different is that when I do a linear regression analysis of the test site's model pre-training time and scores, I get a linear regression straight line that shows a positive correlation. This indicates that the longer the pre-training time of the model, the better the combined ability is demonstrated. But often longer times means more attrition. The pursuit of model efficiency also requires consideration of the model's combined ability. Next is a 3D plot of model energy consumption, pre-training time, and the composite score. Again, the closer to the top left corner, the better the model. The closer to the bottom right corner, the worse the model. It can be seen that the model closest to the top left corner is Raptor Large, which shows that the model has low energy consumption and high efficiency while delivering very good training results. Taking the plots together for the development data side, both XY length base and XY length extra large are on the efficiency frontal curves for energy consumption, pre-training time, both versus composite score, having higher rating while consuming less energy and the efficient pre-training time. For the test data side, Raptor Large and T511B form the efficient frontal curve, having a higher rating while consuming lower energy and efficient pre-training time, but the energy consumption of the T511B cannot be ignored. In practice, we need to measure the combined capacity and the energy consumption of a good model. Although more energy consumption often accompanies the production of good models, it can be found from the study that when the comprehensive capability of the model is already good, if we want to pursue better capability of the model, yes, this requires a large amount of energy consumption. However, subtle enhancements may not be sufficient to be demonstrated in practical applications, and the pursuit of model training efficiency comes at the cost of comprehensive model capability. Thank you.
Oh, we have some questions. There was this MSc that's negative that raised when well, actually Carlo spotted. Can you go back to the slide where you show the
Mean square error.
mean square error? Yeah.
At some point you were showing a mean square error.
Negative one.
The negative MSE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one.
Yes.
Yes, since I use the negative. Well, my code is preceding the negative numbers.
Huh?
Well, can I check to my code?
Yes.
It's a way to.
It's a mean square error, so being square should be positive, but
Non-negative. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, but it's just the positive number, but with a negative signal.
oh. So it's to show like the one that is higher is better. Okay. Like higher, closer to zero.
Yeah. Yes. The higher. Yes, the higher the better, with the negative.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah,
Okay. Which is okay. Okay. Just
I mean,
flip it for the
flip
purpose of
the- yeah,
for the purpose of training, right?
visualization.
Okay. I think
For the purpose of training.
yeah. I think and then there's another linear regression that looks a bit strange because there was obviously there were two clusters and then you did a linear regression. Could you jump to some of these the linear regression charts?
One of the last ones, I believe.
Yeah. There were it was quite obvious there were two clusters.
Oh, you mean this one?
No.
Oh,
Not this one.
No, it's
You
not
remember?
this one.
one of the last few slides. One of the few last slides. It was one of the last ones they were showing. It was a scatter plot with a linear regression.
Yeah.
Is the data site?
No. The last slides, last towards the conclusion.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, that one. What was that two cluster there?
One slide before.
The previous one.
Oh, it's about the energy consumption and the pre-training time with the average score.
Can you do the previous slide?
The two cluster, you
Can you go to the previous slide? This is on energy consumption. The previous slide.
mean the
One
I
slide back.
said
Can you go to the previous slide?
Yes, no.
Not this one. The previous one.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, well,
Oh,
too much. Afterwards.
too much.
Yes, stop. Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Energy consumption average score.
You have two clusters in the energy consumption.
You have very low energy consumption and very high energy consumption, right? There's nothing
Yes.
in between.
So doing this linear regression basically is not saying a lot.
Okay. I think I need more data to do the linear regression. Maybe it's better.
Why are there such a discrepancy between energy consumption? There's clearly
Yeah.
there's below kind of probably about 9,000 and then there's above about 55,000. There's nothing in between. Do you understand why?
Since the this 5 point at the right is the T5 model, and these models pre-train a large data set or a large size of data set, and it takes a lot of time for pre-training. So the energy consumption it would be higher than others.
Mm. Maybe you run regression separately. If you have
The
to
one
run
on the right
regression,
is all,
yeah,
it's all on the same vertical, so it's
it looks like it. Yeah, the one on the
Right.
right is almost the same, but the one on the left, because they obviously have different slopes, right? The slope is much steeper, it looks like. And by merging
Yes.
by merging these two clusters, you're achieving much flatter slope. But actually, it's clearly just by looking at the chart, you have two different clusters that you should consider separately. You can either run the regression separately, or you can add
I would just remove the model on the right from the
or that.
from
Yeah.
the data set. Because
Okay, I know your meaning.
uh,
I put it together because of they are both use the TPU to train the model, and so I put there together. But in fact the data set they pre-training and the pre-training time they use are different. So it happened this.
Yeah. Yeah, the slope is deceiving, right? It looks like you need a lot more energy consumption, and your score would only improve a little bit, but that's actually not true, right? So especially
Yes.
for the low end, it's absolutely it's not true. So you don't need that. The slope should have a much higher angle.
Okay. I know
You have
that.
then you have
which is what you were showing with the efficient frontier in a way. So that's why the regression line doesn't really mean much if you do the efficient frontier. Actually, it's yeah, the other one, the one that was referring to the same scatter plot, I guess.
Yeah.
You mean this one?
Yes.
Yes. It's the same.
Yeah, these are the
Since
same data
there's a large gap between the T5 models and other models.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. I think that's all for today. Thanks everyone for participating, asking questions, leaving comments. Yeah, again, do incorporate the feedback as much as you can. And I left the comments for the previous students who are doing the topical modeling together. I think you should sit together and compare results and your models, because there's a lot of similarity. And then, if possible, still submit what you have for the showcase event next week as well, and show some progression. Thank you.
Thank you.